Hello, podcast world. I'm here to talk about the episode of Law and Order SCU, season 22, episode 1. It was very controversial. I mean, very, very controversial, I might say. I was checking it out, and I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I can't believe it, you know? It's about, it starts off with a black guy in the park working out, and this white lady and her son, a Karen, I might add, as he's recording himself, and she's just accusing him to like a harassment or whatever. And the question is, how did these two even run into each other? Then she calls the police saying that he was harassing her, threatening her and her son or whatever. And the whole time it's like on tape, nothing's happening. He's just standing there, and because he's black, it's a whole scene. Like by the time they get back to the episode, or they fade in and fade out. By the time they get back, there's cops everywhere. They've got the guy under arrest, and his name was Javion Brown, I think it was his name. And I was like, wow, how much more of a stereotypical name could you get in this scenario? And then next thing I know, they find the reason. Okay, in the process of trying to de-escalate the situation, you find a guy, a Filipino guy, with his pants down after being sexually assaulted, and had a concussion and is bleeding out. His head, on his head, his blood coming out of his head or whatever. And the ambulances are rolling away, and here comes our all-star cast, the Special Victims Unit, SVU team, and the leading people on there are Olivia Benson and Tutuola Finn. And the situation is, by the time they get to the scene, the guy, Javion Brown, is in handcuffs. Now, the police that were on the scene that had arrested him were like, well, we have him still in handcuffs because he has these outstanding warrants. And they were like, well, and other than to go into further investigation there on the scene, they were like, well, okay, we're just going to use that and take him to the precinct to ask some questions. So they do, basically detain him, arrest him or whatever. And the whole time, you don't even notice it, but the guy who raped the Filipino guy is at the scene recording, and it's just horrible. It's a horrible situation. And then the guy who is raped he falls into a coma after trying to give a description, and the overall of it is it becomes a racial situation, a racially infused situation. And the next part of the episode goes into it where Olivia and Finn are in the office, and they're going over some of the social media videos that were there, and all you can see is that, again, the guy was already detained. They went ahead and arrested him, and he's in, and the thing about it is he's in NA. So he was like, he got hooked on Oxy because he had a back incident a year ago. So now he's going to these NA meetings or whatever, and he was with his sponsor, and he was like, I'm always in the park at 7 in the morning. I work out, and that's, so his story ultimately checks out. They let him go. And the thing about it is he was just being really evasive, and that's his right, like, he's innocent. He's like, why am I here, all this and that. But he was basically, he was pulling the card, which at the end of the day, that's the thing to do. It's because, this man was basically wrongfully arrested, wrongfully accused. The whole situation was just jacked up. And the question was presented after the fact. Next thing you know, there's an IAB investigation on Olivia and Finn. The worst thing about it is Finn is already under an investigation for last season a wrongful, basically that's what a wrongful death lawsuit, and it's basically he shot a guy who was trying to kill his son, and the girlfriend or whatever, in front of the girlfriend and the son or whatever, but it was a good shoot, so he's not too much worried about that. And now the new police chief is a black guy, and he's telling Finn that after all the stuff that's going on in the country, he was like, I know what it's like to be black and blue. You gotta understand, you can't, it's like, it's hard for you to be both. You can't really go out there in the world and not have, because the question kept coming up, and it was really strongly pointed at Olivia, and if you watch the show, you know that this is the case. Are you prejudiced? And even her own son was like, you know, are you prejudiced? By the end of the episode, this is the outrage that kind of drove me to want to talk about this episode. The guy who raped the other guy and left him assaulted got off. The grand jury didn't want to indict him because of police conduct and because they're all pushing at don't trust the police right now, and they're also pushing at how the other guy, Javion Brown, was wrongfully arrested, and they're also pushing at all the other things that are going on, like Finn's lawsuit and how the whole wrongful death lawsuit when he shot the guy. They brought these things up, and Carisi, you know, he's a new 88 now, so he went from being a cop to being a district attorney, and with that being the case, they're just coming at him. You know, they're coming at Finn and like trying to figure out like how is he okay with the overall situation, and he's black, you know. So I really was like, oh my god, I can't believe that this is the stuff they're talking about. This is what they're going in on. And by the time they were done with that session, they can already tell. They stepped out of the hallway and was arguing, and they can already pretty much tell that how do they say it? Shit rolls downhill. So at the end of the day, they were trying to point blame, and then the rapist comes up. His lawyer comes up and was like, he wants to speak at the hearing, at the grand jury hearing. He goes in there and immediately says, Carisi asked him a bunch of questions and asked, so it's like, you lied about this, you lied about that, and you lied about this, you lied about that, you lied about everything. It's like, basically it seems like whatever story is most convenient to you, that benefits you, is what's the truth. He was like, so what is it now? Then he goes in there and basically talks about the distrust of how things are right now with the police, and is like, basically put it out there like they're framing him. Like, none of the stuff that they're saying is true, but they have evidence. They have the DNA evidence. Like, everything the guy was saying was a freaking lie. And I was like, and of course, you know, this is a white guy, and like, I was like, man, this is crazy. You know, this is crazy. So I just was like, I felt like, regardless of what's going on out there, as far as between the police and Black Lives Matter, justice is justice. I don't feel it's right for that guy to assault that other guy, and the other guy is left in a coma. Sometimes I feel like we need a Batman. Sometimes I feel like we need some forms of vigilante justice. Like, I know that's crazy, but if you're an Arrow kind of guy, you watched Arrow. In the first season of Arrow, he was like, what was the catchphrase? You felt this city, you know? And that's the outlook I have about dude on this episode. Like, you felt the city. So if there was a Green Arrow out there, he would basically be put down. You know, in some cases, that's like, this man is a violent sexual predator. You know what I'm saying? And this guy is getting off. They're not even going to indict him. I'm not a police officer, but I do believe in right and wrong and justice. And I felt like, you come on, how stupid, how dumb do you have to be to follow along with a guy who's sitting there lying, all because the bigger picture, they detain this black guy because of this Karen. Like, I really don't know what to say about that. I feel, on one hand, it's like, you know, at the end of the episode, Olivia goes to talk to Mr. Brown and tells Javion, I just want you to know that they're pressing charges against the Karen lady, and that, you know, that's, he was like, am I supposed to feel some type of way about that? He was like, thanks to the media, I lost my job because they found out I was going to the NA meetings. And, you know, of course, all she could do was apologize. And she was like, at the end of the day, she realized she knew. And she said it, she was like, the NYPD. She was like, no, not just the NYPD. She was like, me, I have a long road ahead of myself in helping the situation. So, I just felt like this episode was a good way to start the season. Every show that I'm coming across is still dealing with COVID, and they're putting in the show, and they're wearing masks, and I just, you know, it's almost like this is our reality right now. Like, even in television, when we go back and look, and be like the year 2020 and what all happened and how did it all go down, it'll be televised, it'll be shown, it'll be like, in my lifetime, this is probably the worst national, no, it's worldwide, the worst worldwide thing that I've ever come across. And yes, it has hit close to home. I've watched some of my neighbors die. I watched people who have family members die from coronavirus, the underlying cause. And hey, for all of those who survive to the next level, to the next year, to the next moment in time, to the next crisis, I'm glad for that. I'm glad to see that we've made it through all of these situations, because even earlier in the year, if you don't look at that, then you have to look at what happened in Minnesota with George Floyd, and then you have to look at what happened with Breonna Taylor, and then just, and that right there, these things are just a thread that's been pulled and pulled and pulled, and it's a breaking point at this point. Like, when is it gonna stop? What is it? Like, we speak of change and change coming and all of that, and that's not what we need. It's horrible, but I'm always optimistic every year around December, going into January, going into the new year, that everyone usually makes New Year's resolutions, and by February they usually enacted on it, because, hey, no matter what, financially, there's money coming in February, income tax money, the money that we gave the government that they're giving back to us. And some people are still like, are y'all gonna help us? Nancy, Mitch. Well, what's going on? Come on, Congress. Come on, Senate. Come on, Trump. Like, Joe, what's up? You know, like, I don't care where it's coming from. It's like God's got us either way. But it would be nice to know that if I have this spider bite and the poison is still in that spider bite, and I got this big bump, this blister or whatever, and all you have to do is cut it and let some of that poison ooze out. Like, just help, you know, in whatever shape, form, or fashion you can get that. And then pretty much the main thing will be a financial form of help. So, can we get that? Just let us know. The sooner the better. Well, thank y'all for listening to me rant about Law and Order SVU and the things that I have seen that I can't unsee. I found it to be a really good episode as far as the first episode of the season. Like, it really woke me up this morning to watch it, and I guess I'm going to be on to the next one. Like I say, that was episode 22, season 22, episode 1, and now I'm going to move in to watch the newest episode that came out, and that's season 22, episode 2. And I've been a long time, watcher of Law and Order SVU, and that's why, like I say, Olivia is my favorite character on and off the cameras, and her and Ice-T, Finn, have been, the driving force of the show. Maybe one day they'll bring Stabler in for some, I don't know, just, they don't have to bring him back, but maybe they can cameo him in, or, I know his, between his actual life and his career, that things were kind of shaky and flaky, so I understand why, his character probably washed out. I don't really know. Maybe he pursued more, because I know after he stopped being on the show, he was on the Man of Steel movie, and I thought that was great. I even thought his whole character on the show, on the movie of Man of Steel was great. So I was like, he even died in that movie, and he died pretty honorably. So what else can I say? So yeah, shout out to the whole team from my day ones to the new season. Law and Order SVU. It's really taught us a lot. I've learned a lot. I've learned that no means no, and anything sexual can really make you wind up in trouble. So, but yes, I'll leave you to say that don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Check out my YouTube channel. Keep listening to my podcast for those who do. And I thank you so much. Maybe one day we can get this all together, and maybe we can get it right. Thank you. Hello, YouTube world. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I drop hot content like this. And stay tuned for the next video.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.